Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Donnie here. So this is the second part of my budget pickup video that I started a little bit ago. So still August 31st, but I decided to break this up into two parts so I could have a couple shorter videos versus one really long one. So hopefully you guys watch the first part of the video. If not, go back and watch that. It covers 1978 Topps through 1974 Topps. Pretty much all stars and Hall of Famers. For the most of any of those was $15. Most of them were in the $2.50 to $5 range. But a lot of great looking cards, really nice condition, ungraded cards from the 70s. So this is going to continue where that left off. I've got cards starting in the early 70s, going all the way back to 1959 Topps. And the 59 Topps cards are a couple of Hall of Famers, and they're really nice shape. So I can't wait to show you guys those. And they were not expensive at all. So we'll work back through the years to get there. You'll also see some upgrades for a set or two that I'm working on. Getting really close to a couple of those sets. So I'll share that as we get there with those cards. There will be some commons in there, but I'll just go through those really quick. I'll focus on the stars and Hall of Famer cards. But I've got probably another 20 or so cards to share here. So hopefully you guys enjoy this as much as the first one. Feel free to leave some comments to either of these videos. As far as, you know, when you're out collecting and at the local card shop in your area, if you pick up you know, graded cards, ungraded cards, high dollar cards, low dollar cards. I just have two kids in college right now, with a third one a couple years down the road still to go to college. So I'm definitely in the budget collecting mode right now. So all these cards fit really nicely into that kind of mode of collecting. But they're still all great cards, great looking cards, and great players. So hopefully you'll get as much enjoyment seeing the pickups as I did actually at the shop picking them up. So I'll turn this camera around and we'll get started. Okay, so here we go with the second half of the budget-minded collection pickups from the summer. All these were picked up from local card shops. There's two or three that are responsible for all these pickups. Couple, well, I guess one in Huntsville, Alabama, one in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and then there's a couple others close to my home. One in Rogersville, Alabama, another one in kind of outside of Florence, Alabama. But anyway, start with 71 Topps here. So these 71 Topps cards were just amazingly good shape when I saw them, and so hadn't really started the 71 Topps set officially, I guess, or not very far into it. But I know that 71 Topps are hard to find in nice shape, and so when I saw these, I went ahead and picked them up. So give me a little bit of a head start on the kind of stars and Hall of Famers for that set. But the first is the home run leaders card of Johnny Bench, Billy Williams, and Tony Perez. So you got three Hall of Famers on this card. And look at the condition of that card. I don't know exactly what this would grade if I were to send it in, but it would get a really nice grade. Probably at least a 6, probably a 7, maybe even higher than that. And as you guys know, these cards are notorious for chipping and edge and corner wear, but this one's really nice. And this card was $2.50. So 1971 Topps, three Hall of Famers for $2.50 in that kind of condition. It was just a no-brainer for me. So we'll put that one back there as the first card in the stand. Next one is Juan Marichal, also from 71 Topps. This was $5. So again, pretty darn nice shape. Much less edge and corner wear than on most of the 71s I see. So I thought for $5, that was a pretty good deal. As I mentioned in the last video, he's coming to do autographs in Nashville in late September, so I'm going to be trying to find a card to get autographed by him. So stay tuned for a video asking for some community help there to find the right card. So maybe once I do the show and get his autograph, I'll do a Juan Marichal video as well, showing all the Juan Marichal cards in my collection and the auto as well. But anyway, so that was $5 for his. Next one up is Willie Stargell. Also $5. But I mean, just a super nice looking card. Just the tiniest touches in the corners, and not even all the corners, really. The top left and bottom right. The other two are near perfect. Like they came out of the pack. There's the back. So, like I said, I hadn't really started the 71 Topps set, but when I saw these, I couldn't pass them up. They're just, knowing that they're hard to find in this nice shape for the dollars for Hall of Famers. Sure, why not? Next one is Phil Niekro, also $5. So really nice shape there. Picture of him with the Braves. Then let's see, next one is Billy Williams. It's also $5. Yeah, almost no border and quarter chipping like you usually see on these cards. So I don't know exactly what collection they came out of, but whoever had them kept them really nice. And then the last 1971 Topps that I got was Steve Carlton. This one was $10. A little bit of quarter there on the top left and bottom right, but still a pretty darn nice card. Really good centering. So $10 for that. So that's what, 10, 20, 30, less than 35 bucks. Picked up a good number of 71 Topps Hall of Famers. Then we go on to 1970 Topps. So there are a couple commons in what I'll show you this second video. The first one is this Jim Campanis card from 70 Topps. It's number 671, so it's a high number. This was 75 cents. So maybe more than what I would normally pay for commons in 1970 Topps if I was buying a lot. But I'm probably 70% complete with that set. And so I'm starting to get down to, you know, getting very specific numbers. And when I saw this one and the shape, it's basically near mint shape for 75 cents. Yeah, I'll do that. Then also got a Hall of Famer from 70 Topps. Again, Juan Marichal. This was $5. And that is pretty much a near perfect card. Tiniest touch maybe down here, but I mean, it looks fantastic. Look at how bright the back is too. So 1970 Topps Juan Marichal. I'll put that back here on the stand. Okay, the next card is the most expensive card of all the ones I'll show you. But even it was only $20. So this is the 1968 Topps Game Willie Mays. These cards are pretty hard to find centered. This one is better centered than most, and it's in really nice shape. And so I figured, you know, nice clean back. Getting a 1968 Willie Mays for $20. That's a pretty good deal. I see these, you know, they're pretty common, easy to find, but they're not easy to find centered as nicely as this one is, or the shape it is. It's also not easy to find them for $20. I've seen a lot lesser players with price tags a lot higher than $20 in the local card shops. So I thought that was a pretty good addition to the collection. The next one is a 67 Topps Willie McCovey, and I'm working on the 67 Topps set. Needed this one to fill that hole in the set, but also, you know, it goes towards my Willie McCovey run. Hall of Fame player run, and this card was $5. But you look at that card. I mean, look at the corners on the top left and right, and the edges. Again, it almost looks like it came out of the pack yesterday. A little touch maybe down here, down there in the bottom, but I mean, that is a great looking card for $5. So it fits multiple holes in my collection. Back is really nice. I like the 67 Topps set. So $5 Willie McCovey. Let's see, next one is a common from 1966 Topps. Jerry Lynch. This was 75 cents. So again, I'm kind of slowly working the 66 Topps set. It's not as done as my 65 or my 60 or even my 67 set, but it has been started officially. And let's see, this one is card number 182, so it's not a high number, but it's really nice shape. So for 75 cents, if I can find something like that that fills a hole, I'll pick it up. Okay, the next bunch are upgrades to my 1965 Topps set. So these cards total was like under $68. Most of them were $2 or $2.50. Average about $3.21 across all the cards. The ones I'm going to show you are actually the ones that I took out of my 65 Topps set binder and replaced them with the new ones. So I don't have the new ones are already in the binder. So I'll show you the ones that came out of the binder, and you can see how nice these were. And the ones I put in were nicer. Mostly, I was looking for better centered cards, but there were some that had a couple other little flaws or not quite as nice as what I wanted. But I got 20-something upgrades for my 65 Topps set for $68. So you can see, kind of like Ed Charles here, this is the one that came out of the binder that I replaced with a better card. So this one's really nice other than the centering left to right. So a lot of these upgrades were near perfect centering. And then same kind of thing here with Fred Gladding. A little more off-center than what I like, so I got to upgrade there. Ron Klein, you see the bottom corners, and actually all the corners are a little softer than what I wanted. This set, I'm trying to build an excellent mint condition or better. So this particular one, I got one that was centered, but also had nicer corners. Lou Burdett, again, upgraded the centering. John Donahue had a little bit softer corners than what I wanted, so upgraded that one. Walt Bond, same kind of thing, upgraded that one. Dean Chance, this is a pretty nice looking card, but the one I got to replace it's even better looking. Same thing with Ron Hansen, a little softer corners than what I wanted. This one's pretty nice other than being OC. So the one I got was nearly perfectly centered. To replace this Angels Rookie Stars card. Russ Snyder, same thing, OC. Bob Perkey, a little bit soft corners there. Upgraded that one with the sharp card. Osinski, off-center. Hinton had a stain down here, so the one I got was nicely centered, nice corners, no stain. Mac Jones is off-center, so fix that. Same thing with Lindy McDaniel. Same thing with Orlando Pena. Bobby Locke. A little off-center as well as some corner issues there. Upgraded that. Ryan Duran. I think there's actually a small little wrinkle. It's really hard to see that comes like down here through that card. So I got one that with no wrinkle, centered, great corners. Cardinal rookie. This one had a little bit touch up here in the corner, so I fixed that with the upgrade. This one is actually pretty nice. When I first saw this, I put it on the upgrade list because I thought this had been colored in by whoever owned the card, but it turns out that's actually done. That was airbrushed by Topps, and so because it shows him as Indians, but he still has the New York Yankees. uniform on. So I got another one. It's even nicer than this one though. So I upgraded that one. And then last one, Norm Seaburn, again centering off. So upgraded that one with good centering. So that got probably at least a third, I'm guessing, of the upgrades that I needed for my 1965 Topps set out of the way. So that was really helpful, finding all those commons, if you will, for that set. Then I also picked up one upgrade of a Hall of Famer from 65 Topps. This is the Mazeroski card, and I got this one for $5. And you can see pretty nicely centered, amazing corners and edges, great color. So that is an upgrade to my Maz that was in the set before. So happy with that for $5. As you're getting down to just a few cards needed in your sets, I tend to be more willing to pay a little bit more to knock off those upgrades or fill in the holes and stuff, just to try to get it done. But still, perfectly happy with paying what I did for those upgrades. The next three are 3 cards, the SPs from the 1964 Topps Giants cards. And I'm working on the set. I'm down to 3 cards needed for that set. I've got the Sandy Koufax I need the Frank Robinson, and the Willie Mays. So the Sandy Koufax and the Willie Mays cards are short prints, as are the 3 I'm about to show you. So I've got 2 short prints and then a Frank Robinson to complete the set. But I needed these other 3 short prints, and there was a guy on Net54 selling several of them, and so I jumped on these as soon as he posted the for sale listing in the buy sell trade section of Net54. So this Bob Friend is a SP. I got this one for $5. For those of you not familiar with these, they're oversized cards, but they are fantastic photos, probably some of the best photos of any 1960s cards. They have a nice write-up on the back. No real stats, at least not like a normal stat line, but a nice write-up on the back, and they're just fantastic. A lot of people got these autographed because they're such good pictures and nice big size. Anyway, so I got that one for $5. Also Wayne Causey, short print. This one was $15, but fantastic shape. See the back there. So these short prints I've seen for, $25, $35, $40+ easily. So getting these for $5 and $15 for that one, and this next one was $10. Galen Cisco. So for $35 total, I knocked off the 3 common short prints that I still needed in the set, bringing me down to just 3 cards needed. So my goal is to finish getting those last 3 cards by the end of this year and knock that set off. I'd be super happy to finally finish that one and be able to focus a little bit more, maybe the Red Hearts from 54. So those 3 there came from Net54. Okay, moving on, getting back to the LCS pickups. The next one is a 1961 Topps Christy Mathewson. This was $2.50. I picked out some other kind of old-timer cards like this, and I ended up putting most of them back. Most of them were from like 79 Topps and some others, but I saw this Mathewson, and I thought it was just a really interesting card, really great condition, and for $2.50, I thought it was a steal. So again, I haven't really started the 61 Topps set in earnest yet, but this will go into that set, as well as get me a Matty, since I don't have a Playing Days Matty yet. Hopefully I'll correct that next year, but we'll see. So we'll put Matty up here. Next one, Curt Flood. I actually already had this card, but I didn't realize it, but it's okay because it's worth having a duplicate of this one. It's 1961 Topps Curt Flood. And again, look at the condition on this card. That was $5. So Curt Flood's not in the Hall of Fame, but he definitely was a star. He probably should be in the Hall of Fame for just impact to the game, if not for his stats. But I have to go back and look. I think this card's nicer than the one I already had, so I'll probably keep this one, maybe put the other one in the dupes box for trades. But happy with that. Get a 61 Curt Flood. Next one, another 61. This was $7. With Frank Robinson, Hall of Famer, Vada Pinson, possible Hall of Famer, and Gus Bell. And look at this card. I don't know that I've ever seen a 1961 Topps card this nice. With a Hall of Famer and one potential Hall of Famer for $7. So I was happy to pay that for that one. Next one up. So for those of you who probably listen to the channel, I know that my dad's favorite player was Mickey Vernon. So I have a little Mickey Vernon collection kind of going in honor of my dad and Mickey Vernon. So this is Mickey Vernon as a coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I have several other playing days Vernons, but I don't think I had this one. So I picked that up for the Mickey Vernon collection. And it was, like I said, $5 I think for this card. So from 1960 Topps. Then let's see, next one up, another $5 card. This is the Baseball Thrills subset from, I think it's 1959 Topps. So Colavito's Catch. So this is a subset I'm working on. I've got, I don't know, maybe a third or half the cards from the subset, but I didn't have this one, and I saw it, and it was really nice shape from the 50s for $5. So I just thought, sure, let's get that. So put Colavito there, and then now the last two 1959 Topps, and both of these were $10 each, and I honestly couldn't believe the price for the condition cards that these are in. So the first one is Bill Mazeroski, so Hall of Famer. I mean, look at the borders are white, bright white. Corners and edges are razor sharp. Great color match with the yellow and the Pirates yellow there. Back has a little bit of toning on it, but nicely centered, really nice condition. And that card was $10 for a 1959 Hall of Famer. What Maz's rookies in 57, so this would be like a 30-year card. So I thought that was pretty sweet. And the next one is even better. It's Minnie Minoso. Again, $10 for this card. When I saw it, I couldn't believe the borders and the edges and just the condition of the card for $10. Either that Maz or this Mini could be sent in for grading easily and get a pretty high grade. Maybe I'll do that one day. We'll see. But those two 59 Topps side by side there, you know, $20 you're looking at, $10 each for two 1959 Topps Hall of Famers in outstanding condition. So guys, when you hear all the YouTube influencers and others, you know, spending thousands and thousands of dollars on cards, and you feel like, man, how can I possibly keep up? Just ignore all that and go for stuff like this. Go to your LCS, go online, go to a card show, and find $10 gems like this. For a couple $100, you can pick up literally dozens and dozens of cards, star players, Hall of Famers, and build your collection and get a lot of joy out of it. So I'll put mini up here. That's what I've got for you guys today. Hopefully you like that. That wraps it up for now. I don't know when my next video will come out. I do have that one that I'm going to put out for some community help. But other than that, I'm not sure when the next one will be. Just kind of play it by ear. But anyway, glad you guys tuned in today. Hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did like the video. Feel free to comment. I try to respond to all the comments. And take care. Talk to you later.